Hello, everybody. I hope you're doing well. I hope you can hear me because the little ones are sleeping, so I can't talk too loudly. Um, yeah, we passed Halloween, we're still here, so let's keep watch. This video I titled Time is Up in November 6th. I want to zoom in on November 6th because I found there are quite significant things going on. So I wanted to share that with you. So, first, I was thinking from October 27th, which was Sukkot, to November 6th is now 10 days, and we know Revelation 2:10 where it says, "Do not fear what you are about to suffer. Look, the devil is about to throw some of you into prison to test you, and you will suffer tribulation for 10 days. Be faithful even unto death, and I will give you the crown of life." So on the 27th, too, the you know what also was announced for the children, and this is, now, of course, huge. This is now really a Red Sea moment, and yeah, but there is more. So now all the world leaders, 120 of them, they gather at the big summit in Glasgow, and now Steve Fletcher reported on this, and this was quite amazing because when I read that that they are feasting on salmon and sea bass, and I said like salmon and sea bass, this is quite interesting because so they're eating fish, and it came to mind the last miracle that Jesus did basically was right before he ascended was the miracle catch of fish, and then after he was eating with the disciples, right? And this is quite amazing with the number here. It was 153, and there's amazing math in there, and I touched on that in my other videos. And there's also the math with the pyramid here, and we know that the enemy is using the pyramid and the one eye symbol and all this, and makes it really horrific. And that's really horrific things. And what why do I zoom in on this is because 2028 we have when Jesus touches down his real second coming, we see I believe that must be it, because on the 20th, right on the Feast of Trumpets, we have also the meridian passing of the moon um, at 1:53 p.m. So we have the number 153, and we have also unbelievable numbers of the distance between Moon and Earth. 360 is the days of the year in biblical years, and also 360 degrees. Then we have three, right? The Trinity, six for man and seven for God. So this is unbelievable. And when we now know the tribulation is 7 years, we know that we are in 2021. So this must be the year, and we know that from the parable of the fig tree as well as from Psalm 90:10, and that we must be in the last year. And interesting is too that this miracle, this catch of fish, is in John 21, which is the last chapter of John. So now here in Acts, I was also thinking when Jesus ascended right into heaven. So this is in Acts 1, where they were looking intently up into the sky as he was going, when suddenly two men dressed in white stood beside them. And I believe there's another mirroring going on where it is the two witnesses, right? They come down when at the time of rapture. And men of Galilee, they said, "Why do you stand here looking into the sky? The same Jesus who has been taken from you into heaven will come back in the same way you have seen him go into heaven." So he left in a cloud, and he will come back in the cloud. So I believe there's so much more mirroring going on right now as we speak, when we look at around the ascension period. And if you go through all these yeah, these when Jesus appeared after he basically resurrected, this is quite amazing. And also he met with the disciples in the upper room, and then they were basically fishing in the lake and had the the eating the fish and the miracles catch of fish. And this is so interesting because now we have also the summit, the summit, the meeting in the room there, and the eating fish and all these things. And this is was for me quite interesting. So I feel there is a lot of, the enemy tries to mirror as well, just usually puts it in a very um, points out ugly things and all this stuff, but they also have their little symbolism, all these things going on. So that's why I find it so interesting that they also feast on salmon and sea bass um, at this G20 gala dinner. So, yeah, so I was just thinking maybe we can find some more mirroring. So, for example, I was thinking there must be also a hint now to the rapture, and this is, I find, um, here interesting because we're looking at November 6th, and I was thinking this is so interesting because it's in verse 6 here. Then they gathered around him and asked him, Lord, are you at this time going to restore the kingdom to Israel? So this is all in Acts 1, basically, right? About the ascension, just before he ascended. Lord, are you at this time going to restore the kingdom to Israel? So this I find the Jewish people they didn't know about the rapture, of course, and just as we didn't know for a long time, I actually didn't know for just 2 years ago. Actually, only I found out. So or not even. So this is all. This, I think, is the hint to also to Daniel when he said here, in the days of those kings, the God of heaven will set up a kingdom that will never be destroyed, nor will it be left to another people. It will shatter all these kingdoms, bring them to an end, but will itself stand forever. So I have another Bible that it translated straight from the Greek, and here it's actually instead of set up, it says raise up. So in the days of those kings, the God of heaven will raise up a kingdom, right? So the Daniel prophet is obviously way, 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 very, very old. So yeah, this is the raising up of the kingdom, and this is also the restoration of the kingdom to Israel. So this is pointing to the rapture. So we have the rapture, I believe, is mirrored here in this question. Okay, so and then we know that all the disciples that Jesus was 40 days still on earth in his new glorified body after resurrection. He was on the earth for 40 days, and now we're wondering, or I'm wondering, where's this 40-day period mirrored in today? So there must be also a 40-day period. So I was looking at the calendar. Now we have these 2 weeks where they gather, and this is the perfect moment for basic everything to happen, and Babylon coming to fall in one day. So this must be the perfect timing here. So now on the 8th we have the big announcement that they want to start the new you know what on the kids. So this is obviously the last big weekend here, and yeah, let's hope for the best here, and because this really now is a squeeze here, a big red moment squeeze. Now there are so many dates coming up. We have 9/11. We have actually the tsunami in Japan. It happened on March 11th, so we have a 3/11 here. And I was thinking we have 9/11, we have 3/11, and 6/11 would be also quite fitting now for something else to happen. And what is so interesting now if we take this date 6/11, so November 6th and minus 40 days, because we're looking for a 40-day mirroring, we're actually coming to September 27th, and this was actually the Sukkot celebrated on the Hebrew calendar this year. So very interesting. There's also Obama came on the stage. He had like this live event, this ceremony, and there was a lot of Build Back Better in the news and all of that. So this is very interesting to now from the Hebrew calendar to um, 40 days forward from Sukkot, that we end up um, on November 6th, which could be a big day, could be a very big day. And 6 is also the number of man, so this would be also fitting. Um, but more importantly, also, I first did a mistake and I ended up at a different date. And by then I came across, I did it right, and from 11/6 also takes 70 days, minus 70 days results in August 28th. And around August 28th, it was the Kabul airport attack, right? So this is, now you say, okay, that's what's not on the 28th. It was actually the evening of the 26th. And then we had a lot of, and then things happened on the 27th and on the 29th. So it was around this time frame. And that's what happened. And I was thinking, that's very interesting, because the 70 we think about Daniel's 70th week, but I looked up what does the number 7 mean, and it says 70 has a sacred meaning in the Bible that is made up of the factors of two perfect numbers, 7 representing perfection and 10 representing completeness in God's law. As such, it symbolizes perfect spiritual order carried out with all power. It can also represent a period of judgment. So this is very interesting, a period of judgment, right? 70 elders were appointed by Moses after reading the covenant God gave him to read to the people. Moses took 70 elders, along with Aaron and his sons, up to Mount Sinai to have a special meal with God himself. And there's more, and it also talks about Daniel's 70th week. So it's very interesting that we have from this date a 70 day, basically, and it must be something big. There must be something big coming to this day, where something else big is basically happening. So I just wanted to share this with you. If you think that here we could be on the right track. And also very interesting, remember all the people running and wanted to flee Afghanistan. And another thing is the 1109, right? We have the 9/11 here on the plane as well. So, and people really tried to get into the plane. The plane, they were even hanging on the plane, and some in the mid, even after takeoff, and it was just so horrific to see, and very tragic, so tragic, and this reminded me also, if, let's say, like the rapture would happen on the 6th now, it's really like I'm just like putting my thoughts out here, right? What I'm thinking. So you don't have to agree. Leave me a comment if you think this could be it. If you think something different, I'm just literally sharing my thoughts. And this reminded me, when people trying to get in the door and trying to get in on that flight, right? Of Matthew 25, the parable of the 10 virgins. And it's in verse 11. Later, the others also came, right? Because the 10 virgins, some of them didn't have enough oil, and then they went out to buy, and then the bridegroom came, and they were late. Basically, they were too late. So it says, later the others also came. Lord, Lord, they said, open the door for us. So it's exactly the scenario with where people want to get on this plane, on this flight, and wanted to be taken. But he replied, truly I tell you, I don't know you. Therefore keep watch, because you do not know the day or the hour. So this is exactly, I find. And what other verse comes to my mind is, pray that your flight is not on a Sabbath and not in winter, right? So now we are in winter, and it could be on a Sabbath. I think the 6th was a Sabbath. Did I put the calendar in there again? Let's just check in a second again. But then because then there will be great tribulation. So you can look at this verse from different angles. It's just like amazing how scriptures like is like so alive. It's like um, you know from different angles, but it that what it means that if I think if the flight happens on a Sabbath and in winter, then there is great tribulation. So this could really truly be a hint. I don't know how you would you agree to that, but it's quite amazing that 40 days from September 27th to 6th, we have basically 40 days from Sukkot, when it was celebrated on the Hebrew calendar, and 70 days from August 27th to November 5th sundown. So basically, it's always 2 days because the day starts at sundown. It's overlapping, right? And it started. This attack started happening on November 5th, right? Which at sun it was close to sundown, like it was around. It says 5:50, I think, 10 to 6 in the evening. So this would be already like sundown, I think. And so um, no, it started. Sorry, it started August 26th. It was August 26th at sundown, which is actually the 27th then. So and then could something happen? Basic, my train of thought is here on November 5th in the evenings. Is something starting to come up that evening? Going into the 6th, that's what my train of thought is, because we have from this moment 70 days. Could we leave on November 6th? So let me just go back on the calendar quickly. I know I put it somewhere in there, just that we see, was it really a Saturday? Because I can't remember now exactly. Yes, it is a Saturday. So let's hope for the best, everybody. Let's hope for the best. I'm praying that we're all worthy to escape. It says, work out your salvation with fear and trembling. Let's let's all pray, keep our prayers up. And this La Palma thing is, the earthquakes are getting stronger, and they had shock waves coming out of the volcano again, and the ashes, it's like unbelievable. It's really, the sun will be darkened, that's how it really looks like there. Everything it seems to come together, and keep your hopes up and stay encouraged, everybody. And I hope this video could help you a little bit. Like I said, I just trying to share my thoughts, and if you have anything interesting, leave it in the comment section as well. And yeah, God bless you, and we talk soon. Bye bye.